Any comments? I have 3 cards before us today. The first person who will be going up will be, I think it's an L, but it could be a C, Scott Bush. Is it L or is it C? Oh, he left. Okay, he was going to speak against. The next person up is Corey Houston, who's from PreserveMilwaukee.org, who will be speaking against. Ms. Houston, the floor is yours. And what we're going to do is we're going to have, I don't have too many cards, but we're going to do 2-minute sessions for different speakers, so we'll have a timer.
Thank you. I would say against is a mischaracterization of our intention here. 2 things can be true at the same time. The monumental task of moving the museum and the desire to preserve what is important to the community can exist at the same time. What's most interesting is that you're talking about the dioramas. We have about 140 unique dioramas, murals, taxidermy, that is people love about the museum, and we have no idea what is going to be happening to those, although it sounds like those would not be considered as part of the collections, which means they would not be moving over to the new museum. So if I'm not understanding that wrongly, just based on that last comment, but the concern that we have is that the public is being kept out of the Milwaukee Public Museum. And I understand that there's efforts now to show these slides, but the things we're talking about are these exhibits and the beautiful craftsmanship that the people of Milwaukee care very much about. And even if you have a website that had 5,000 likes and 200 frowny emojis, that's not how people are expressing their heartbreak about what is happening. We have been cut out of the process of what is happening to the museum, not only because the items in the museum have been redefined as components. In the 2013 lease, there is articulated terms for them to very specifically make clear all of the things that are owned by Milwaukee County, the objects, the props, the exhibits, and now there's this term component, which has been operating like a carve-out of ownership of what the Milwaukee community has paid for and loves, and is now being defined as a non-component and personal property of MPM. So our concern is not necessarily that the museum isn't being handled carefully, but that the public is being cut out of what's happening. We would like to have a public oversight of the items. We want an inventory of what's considered a collection versus a non-collection item. The public has paid for those items, and they would like to have access to that information. And if we're not given access to that information, I am still reminded of the quote by Thomas Sowell that says, "It is not about what is best, but who gets to decide what is best." And the public have been cut out of this process. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Houston. Supervisor
As long
Gale?
as Corey's there, could someone address some of the comments? I mean, we hear 2013, but I talked about 1992, that things haven't changed since 1992. And so I just want to understand that, because that's not my understanding. And I don't know what the pictures are that she has of.
These are this is what's currently in the museum. This is what we want to know.
I can't see from right here.
You did receive a packet, but yes, it's just images of the museum.
Okay.
Beautiful dioramas, built-in murals. Obviously, the murals are difficult, but it's the things that we love. What is happening with them? We are only told the collections will move over. We want to know what is, we want this. We want information about this. We don't want to be told trust the professionals, and it's not an aggressive. It's just we want input on this.
Do we have answers to where specific things are going to go? Are any of those going over to the new museum? And if not, what happens? If you take one picture, you did with the candy store, and that, here's where things are, their props and their actual collections. When you look at those photos, what is something that either A is going to go over, B going to then follow that process of being sold or auctioned or put in storage because of future use? Can we get a little breakdown on something like that, or no? Is it too?
Erica, if you want to respond. It's a difficult
Thank
question
you,
to
Chair,
answer.
Supervisors. I think it's a very difficult question to answer without going exhibit by exhibit, which is what the museum is doing to determine the collection items that are definitely moving. And so, like, for example, the taxidermied animals, I believe that some are in the collection. They're all collection animals, the taxidermied animals. There are lists online of the 4 million collection items. It's not all online because 140 years of collecting, a lot of it is in actual books that they're trying to digitize the entire 4 million items, but they don't have, like many of our institutions, have a lot of staff, so it's a slow process to get it all digitized. But the county has always had the ability to audit the collection items and to go and take a look and see what collection items exist. We get the high value collection items listed for insurance purposes, but we have the ability to audit. But it would be very expensive and time consuming.
So there was that one slide that showed the military guy, the Army guy or whatever, and had 5 different collections in there, and that was like broken down really nice. I mean, are we going to go through each one of these that are currently there, and then can that be made public? Like you just made it one item in a slideshow. Like if you took a picture of any of these scenes that are beautiful in that, can that? So then that's the answer that maybe they're looking for, is what's happening to each one of these. I mean, I follow their Facebook page. I see the fish and the different things that have been posted. Like, well, what's going to happen to this? Well, I don't have that answer. I mean, and maybe we don't have that answer completely, but like, is something as simple as that saying here's our inventory of this actual part of the museum. Here's a picture. These 5 things are going. This is something that's going to eventually asked if their nonprofit wants it, traveling museum wants it. Like how can we share that information? Because I mean, is there a way to do that? Or
That I would have to ask the museum.
we're doing it. We obviously clearly just did it, and you showed us an example of what you're doing. Well, you must have 100 of those done already. So can't they just go up and be displayed, put online like you just did? That's a public record right now, that slide. Why can't all the ones we've done so far, can't we?
Sure. We are in the process, so we've just started with the first gallery.
Okay.
There are 5 galleries.
Right.
So this is going to be a long, tedious process.
Right.
In addition, there are objects that are in the collections that will be coming out on display. So what you're asking is we can look at placing them on our website, and the thing that we don't want to do is the people who are moving the collections are also the same people who are planning exhibits. And so to add another additional task to their job may send them running. I mean, we're trying to keep a team together that is working 2 jobs at once, or even 3 jobs. So, but there is a lot on our future website. And we talk about what's going to be in the new exhibits. We don't give very detailed like this and this and this because we just don't have the time to do it. It's a big process. As Erica said early on, when you think about moving a house and what that takes. And this is something where we can't just throw something in a box and move it. So we are. And the other thing is that the dioramas are built in. They're part of you guys own them. The facades are built in. You own them. We have not reclassified anything. You saw the collection numbers on those. Those tell us what has been accessioned, what is a collection item. We don't catalog into our collections things that we know. In order to move it, we'd have to destroy it. We'd have to damage it. We don't do that. It would not be meet museum standards. Museums don't accession their exhibits.
Do you mind if I respond? Because I've been sort of one of the main agitators about this, I would have to say.
Go ahead.
Okay. The Facebook page has 9,600 members in it. So, again, this is not the 200 frowny faces. It's a mischaracterization. People are keenly interested in what is uniquely the Milwaukee Public Museum. And so it is in your best interest to work with us to keep people feeling that they have a voice in the museum. What if the public decides that the new museum doesn't reflect their values or their history? You're taking in the past, you've made some concerning comments like, nostalgia will not carry us forward. We are going to transform the museum according to cultural and political trends. You are going to not see the same museum that you have now. So a public, in the absence of information, has only been able to surmise what your intentions are to take these collections and transform what you believe should be brought into the future. And especially your comments about the history of Milwaukee. The histories of Milwaukee is a 7-year period, yes, but it represents the cultures that are here, and people love that. You're saying that's not okay, we need to make it 300 years, and so you're changing and transforming what is the Milwaukee Public Museum. The best alternative would be to have a true representative from the public alongside these efforts, so that people can know that there's transparency. Transparency means openness. It means that we have the information as well. And I just would respectfully ask the board to advocate on behalf of the public, because they care about what's happening, and the answers you've given them, this is obviously more information now, but the answers that you've given them so far have not been thorough enough for them to know what's happening to their favorite exhibit.
Erica Goble, did you want to?
I'm just, so it seems like we're talking about something different, about like moving entire exhibits in their totality, which is just not a reality. It's not a possibility. The thing that the county has control over is the collection. The collection is being preserved, and it's being moved either to the new museum or to storage, where we'll see more of the collection from this point forward. I'm not sure, like, what else the county can be responsible for. The exhibits are being designed. They're being designed around the collection, and these collection items will be displayed. And there's been a public process going on for over 10 years. There was a public process in 2022 when the museum was designed and this deal was done. And we saw the design. It's part of the development agreement, which was adopted. So the public has been involved every step of the way. The museum has had a very public process, inviting the public to talk about what they love about the current museum, what they want to see in the new museum. I'm not sure why you would not consider that a public process. And this is a discussion that was happening in 1992. I've been looking through the 1,000-page file just to get an understanding of the history of these decisions. In 1992, this was a thought already. And then it was, it takes a while to pursue this, of the museum, the nonprofit, taking over completely and still managing and displaying the collection, but the county moving out of it, because even then we knew that we don't have the county doesn't have the financial capacity to continue supporting all of our arts and culture. So I don't know how you can say this hasn't been a transparent process. And your county supervisors represent the public in this process as well. And every meeting that has been requested, a public meeting, President and CEO Ellen Sensky has been willing to be there, or our staff have been willing to be there to talk about this publicly. This is a very long process. It's very detailed. I don't think as the county we could ask the museum to do more than they're already doing in as I said, 40 hours for 6 items of the collection. So they are doing as much as they can to put out as much information as possible to the public. I just don't know if we can ask them to do more. But the Milwaukee County departments are going to be walking through and seeing what's available, what won't be going to the museum or to the storage facility. So I don't know what else we can do.
All right.
I just wanted to make one other statement in that, you know, why the museum in the 60s chose those 7 years, I don't know. But there is a whole lot more to Milwaukee history. So in the new Milwaukee Revealed, we'll talk about Solomon Juneau and the founding of this city. We will talk about Increase Lapham and his involvement in actually helping to get the National Weather Service started across this country. We'll talk about the beer and why beer here in this region through the Schlitz Palm Garden. We will talk about the dairy industry, and we'll use the venue will be the frozen custard shop. So we will be talking about much more of the history of Milwaukee. So I don't know how that is not being true to the Milwaukee Public Museum. It's sharing more of the history. And, you know, you can go onto our website and look, we are updating it all the time. You just have to actually go to the website.
Thank you. More questions? We also have more people that want to talk to. So next up is David Riedel. Sorry, David Riedel. I was going to go with, I was going to do Riedel first, and then I was going to do Riedel. So
No, that's German, so it starts. You don't quote would die, sell gas.
you have 2 minutes as soon as you start. Yeah.
I have really no plan to speak here. Did I give my name properly?
Yes.
Okay. I really hadn't, but I just was typing stuff in the background as I'm listening to this. So these are going to be kind of just comments, but you know, it comes down to hard work and those efforts. You guys even get a little pay. We aren't getting anything. And I worked 8 hours on one video last night. This is not the merit doesn't come from how much effort you put into it. It's what you're doing. And this is what the whole plan of diversion is. In 1992, they may have gotten private ownership of running the museum, but they didn't come in and destroy the streets of Old Milwaukee. The streets of Old Milwaukee, and let's get this on the record, is generational. It is something that it's no ways like I like the little bottle here. It's because it is a time capsule that works for a person to walk through it. It is immersive. You're in it, you don't know where you are, and you come out through the European Village. He's meant something to a lot of people. They meant a lot to your kids, your grandkids, the kids of today. You go in there today, it's not like they're bumming around in there, they're enjoying it. So why the public would say, why the heck are you going to tear it apart and do electronic stuff and do the history of mankind in the same spot? Why would that resonate with the public? You know, she talks an awful lot about how much positive comments they make. Channel 58 ran a commentary, had a story last week with us. And the comments, and read those comments, because they're not our people, they're not their people, they're people. And they're it's not the way it sounds. Like
15
everybody's super
seconds.
happy about this. If you were to work German Fest, I can get maybe one person who thinks that all they think is we're dumb. I'm sorry, I'm getting excited. What they think is this is a fatalistic thing. We can't win. The power is
2
too
minutes.
strong on the other side, the marketing. I'm sitting in a marketing meeting right now. Last week, that video that was on the right side with, I think that was, I'm not sure that was put out a week ago. Then this journalistic tour of the building. Then the good articles start coming out. This is when I got in my head, something's going to be happening at this meeting. And they're trying to get public before the holidays, get them shoved away. You can look it up. I did a video on it. Not a very good one. And then here we are in the day that you always do the ugly part of public policy. You do it on a day that the public isn't paying attention. And that's not a mistake. You know, we have Native Americans who come to us and say, why can't I called them and they asked about my headdress, my grandfather's headdress. I'm calling you because we can't get an answer.
I don't know. I'm not allowed. I offered to fix the powwow at no charge because I'm qualified to do it. And at least for a year, we'd have it running. We're not going to get anybody near it. You guys get to see this stuff. We don't get to see it. You guys are accommodated all the time because you're getting played. Now, maybe you're not, but you're smart enough people to be cynical that when I'm sitting up here, I have an agenda I want to convince you of. They have an agenda they want you to be convinced of. And to think that is just all perfect is no, there is stuff going on behind there. The middle video that was not shown, when you watch it,
Oh,
the middle video was released the day after the beam dropped. No public statement was made about this from Mortensen. No statement was made. Nobody, but turn your head, folks. I have a little fun with it with my video. But nonetheless, it is an irresponsible action in which all this is to promote what they're going to decide. You talk about dioramas. You were, Ms. O'Connor, you asked about diorama. You were told about one little diorama that was done in the 1800s, which would not qualify it for the Milwaukee style. Let's ask a bigger question. What's going to happen to the bison hunt? Why are you stealing snakes off of it or whatever you want? And why is it that you did not contact the Crow Nation to find out if they had any comments on it? This is the people who are more in love with the indigenous and making sure everything's sensitive, never called the Crow. Now, they'll tell you they've talked to the Crow. That's because the Crow talked to them, because I personally contacted the Crow Nation. So,
thank you.
I'm
Thank you
sorry.
very much.
Am I out of my 2 minutes?
I went
Okay.
past for
Support the museum. Sorry, I do apologize, but
All right. Brad Myers was here, and he had to leave, but he was going to speak against. And we also have Liz Riedel. Do you guys know each other? Okay. All right, you have 2 minutes. Yeah, you could start. Your 2 minutes starts right now.
Dear Supervisors, good afternoon. My name is Liz Riedel, and I thank you for the opportunity to speak publicly about MPM Inc. and our public museum. I was raised a Dallas girl, growing up on 75th and Grant. I spent my summers at McCarty Park swimming. I lived there. This was a difficult agenda for me to sit through, no less for you. I've been to every one of the institutions that were on the agenda today: Cool Waters, the domes, within the past year, the zoo. I'm empathetic, you have to decide who has and who has not in your budgeting. With that, I hope my words don't seem harsh. Rather, I hope to give them to you as a perspective, an outside perspective, outside of government, corporations, developers, and expensive consultants. Dear Supervisors, your decisions today and in the days ahead will define your legacy. Under your oversight, the Milwaukee Public Museum, the world's largest municipally owned public museum, will cease to exist. Under your watch, historic, world-renowned exhibits and murals will be lost forever. You have given MPM Inc. authority to decide what to keep and what to get rid of. You have given MPM Inc. authority to decide what is a collection and what is a component. You have given MPM Inc. authority to choose what is accessioned and what is deaccessioned. As a result, immersive exhibits will be dismantled, picked over, auctioned off, perhaps thrown out.
15 seconds.
The Crow Bison Hunt gone, European Village gone. Where was the transparency in this process? Not until recently did MPM Inc. start to hint to the public in articles that these exhibits were not moving. Nowhere
minutes.
has it appeared that this museum will be a privately owned building. I've spoke with hundreds and hundreds of people, and no one knows that, and I've not seen it in any newsprint or anything put out by MPM Inc.
Thank you.
You cite many reasons why it was impossible to save the current building and thus save our public museum. Perhaps the one reason you don't cite is the main reason, how much that property was wanted for redevelopment. After all, what's the value of our legacy compared to a new jail or apartments or a CVS store? I believe history may not be kind to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Members of the committee, any questions, concerns? I don't see anybody online. All right. That ends the testimony today on this item. Next item, if you'd like to announce e-comments.
Item 10, e-comments submitted to the Committee on Parks and Culture via the County Legislative Information Center. Click.
All right. Have there been any comments, Mr. Vice Chair?
If there are any, they'll be added to the file.
All right. Seeing none, one quick announcement for, in terms of our committee. The January 20th date for a committee, which is on a Tuesday at 9 o'clock, will be moved to Thursday at 9 o'clock. I have a flight that's coming in late. I'm going to miss, I want to be there. So so January 20th will be January 22nd at 9 a.m. It was updated in Click, and it's been publicly notified already. So be prepared for that one date change. And otherwise, is there a motion for adjournment? All in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
All right, we're done.